Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, technically I've already actually filmed this video, but not really. So I'll tell you the situation basically. Yesterday I filmed a tutorial on my phone to put on Instagram for you as a IGTV or a reel or something like that. It's basically using my brush collection. So I always want to do like a wee really quick tutorial with you. So basically my Instagram has no such thing as IGTV, it just is non-existent, and a reel is 60 seconds. So that was me screwed. Yesterday was just a complete waste of time. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to actually upload that video at all. So I thought, you know what, screw it, I'm going to sit here today and actually film it on YouTube. So this is just going to be like a beginner friendly how-to on a simple smoky eye, smoky winged liner eye makeup look, I suppose. Obviously just using all of my brushes, my Buff and Blend collab. This is also going to be like a wee bit of a mixture of my everyday makeup look as well, like my go-to makeup look, but also I'm going to be going in depth with you, especially the eyes, on how to achieve a really nice soft glam smoky winged liner. Boom. Let's get into it. So starting off with primer, of course, because brows and skincare is all done. I'm going to be taking the 43 Beauty Hello Sunshine Brightening Primer Moisturiser because I have none of my First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturiser left. Sad times. And I'm kind of want to see if this is a wee bit of a dupe for this. This is pricey. This is very pricey. As much as I love it, or as much as I love any product, sometimes if it is a wee bit pricey, I will kind of restrain myself a wee bit. But this is obviously from Colourpop, and I just want to see if it is quite similar. Like it both says on them that they are priming moisturisers. Yeah, priming moisturisers. And this wee one here from Colourpop has a slight wee glow to it, so whenever you have it all blended into the skin, leaves a nice wee radiance behind. Just like the First Aid Beauty, but it's just like a nice wee healthy glow to the skin, just like this one. So I do actually think the finish is very similar. It's very similar in formula and texture as well, and the fact that they literally just both feel like a moisturiser, and they do give a very nice similar look to the skin. So if the First Aid Beauty one is a wee bit pricey or a wee bit out of your price range, which I completely understand, try this, the Hello Sunshine Brightening Priming Moisturiser from Colourpop. Oh, and see, whenever I'm recommending skin products, like a base products, I always like to mention my skin type, just in case any of you buy a base product and it doesn't work for your skin and you think I'm lying. It's honestly like my worst fear. Like I see so many influencers getting so much shit because they've maybe talked about a product that they love that worked for them, and then somebody goes and buys it and it just so happens to not work for their skin type, and then next minute they're liars. But basically my skin is dry to normal, so see products like this, love them. I'm actually just going to use my 2 minutes. I do apologise, that was the postman. Are you kidding me right now? So I literally just got this package and look what it says on it. Can you read that? First Aid Beauty. Oh my god! So we have the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturiser. Oh my goodness. Okay, do you know what? Yesterday, this brand, or this PR company, had reached out to me and basically asked me if they could send me some things, and I was like, yeah, sure, because they had seen my video, or a video basically. I got the Coconut Water Cream, the Ultra Repair Face Moisturiser, Oil Minimizing Toner with Salicylic Acid. So the company, or the PR company, is Wizard Publicity. So, my god, honestly, thank you so much. Can you believe it? I was literally just talking about how I literally wasn't wanting to buy it because it's so expensive. Oh, are you serious? Oh my goodness, I must actually go on and thank them. Anyway, so yeah, the MAC Studio Fix. Oh my god, honestly, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, you know. And I do apologise that I just kind of started showing you everything I got there, and that's one thing I do not like to do, is show my PR. Not that I get a lot of PR, to be honest. I think people kind of get it twisted that I get a lot of PR sent to me. No, I don't. I think we're so used to seeing other influencers on Instagram getting such a high volume amount of packages daily, weekly, etc. You always just maybe assume that as soon as you're an influencer, or as soon as you get so big, or as soon as you have so many followers, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, whatever, you're bound to get all this stuff sent to you, and that's not the case. Like, that really isn't the case. Well, that's the case with me. I'm on 2 PR lists that I every now and again get the odd wee thing sent out to me. Not every single time though. So yeah, just keeping it real with you guys. You know, I don't like to show even what I do get on in PR anyway, because I don't want it to come across as if I'm bragging or anything. But sometimes whenever I do get PR, because I'm so thankful for it, that I want to kind of share it, but at the same time I don't want to come across as being braggy or anything like that. And then I'm going to go in with an extremely dirty sponge to further blend this out. So I'm going to be using the HNB Holly Boone Soft Focus Airbrush Concealer. I have been absolutely loving this wee concealer recently. It was the Dior Forever Skin, I think it was, concealer there for like a couple of weeks, and then boom, this drops on my absolute fraction of the price. The Dior concealer, don't actually know how much it is, but this is £13, but then if you use my discount code you can get it at 20% off on Be Perfect Cosmetics. I'll obviously have that down below for you. But I do not know what she has done to make this concealer. You honestly need to try it if you're into your full glam, or not even, you know, but it's just, it can be full coverage, but it's not like a really heavy kicky full coverage. It's gorgeous. It's really nice, and it's not like a really thick formula either. It has no scent to it or anything. The shade I use, by the way, is SF0.5N, which is one of the brighter shades because I do love a bright under eye. But it's stunning. The formula is absolutely gorgeous. It blends out effortlessly and easy, but it just looks so beautiful. I don't really know what else to say about it, but it's flawless. It is flawless in the under eyes. To cream contour, I'm going to use the Sol Body Bronzing Balm. Oh, do you know, I'm all chuffed with that stuff down there, you know. I'm so happy. Oh, I can't wait to tell Kyle. It's literally still at that point where anytime I get PR, I have to sit Kyle down and do a wee show and tell. I think it's like that with everything actually. Anytime I do any sort of online shopping and he gets to my house, I'm like, right, sit down, shut up, phone off, phone on silent. And I just do a wee show and tell for him. It's so funny. I've also been loving this wee powder here from Holly Boone HNB Cosmetics, and this is her Soft Focus Loose Powder in the shade Translucent. So I like to just do my under eyes and then around my mouth for my smile lines and stuff. Oh, do you know what I got yesterday? Hey. I finally got my Juvia's Place products. So hopefully next week I'll be able to do or film a... I'm not too sure if I'll be able to film a full face of Juvia's Place, but definitely like a testing video. I'm going to set my skin now with the Urban Decay All Nighter Satin Mist. Ugh. Have you ever seen a bigger pansy over a setting spray in your life? Okay, I'm thinking of doing absolutely everything back to front today, so I'm actually going to go with blush first of all. Morphe 2 Dream Wonder Tint Lip and Cheek Mousse. It's in the shade Dream, by the way. And then I'm going to go in and bronze. I'm going to be using the Be Perfect Cosmetics Shapeshifter palette, this one here. Use my code! So I just like to go in with this shade here. Okay, so I'm going to take another wee bronzer brush, just this wee broken one here, and into that same bronzer, and I'm going to put some of that bronzer just down the sides of my nose, because see, whenever it comes to doing my first eyeshadow colour, my transition, I like to kind of join it to like my nose contour, if that makes sense. I'll obviously show you in a minute or two. But before I get into the eyes, obviously just a wee bit of highlighter now, so I'm going to use the other half I'm going to use the other half of the Be Perfect Cosmetics Shapeshifter palette. This is the blush and highlight section, so I'm going to take this one here. As you know, I'm going to be taking my Buff and Blend collection. This is my signature collection. There is 6 brushes in this collection. I honestly feel like a broken record at this point, but basically the idea behind me creating this brush set was I wanted you to just be able to use this brush set to create any eyeshadow look, and with just these brushes. Anything from soft glam to something everyday to heavy glam, full glam, something colourful, big, bold, grungy, smoky, sultry, you name it. And then your brushes just come in these wee pouches here. This is a brand new set that I had actually just opened up yesterday, so I hope you don't mind. I'm going to be using them again today. So this is obviously your 6-piece brush set. So we have 2 synthetic brushes here, and then the rest are real hair brushes. With them being real hair brushes, they are still cruelty free, by the way. For my palette today, I'm going to be taking this new one here from Colourpop, the Roaring Hearts palette. So that's what it looks like here. The reason I'm taking this palette is because I find that this is a very beginner friendly palette. A lot of Colourpop do have a lot of beginner friendly palettes. A lot of brands do, not just Colourpop. So I was kind of stuck between either this one, the Be Perfect Cosmetics Jaha palette, or the Colourpop Bare Necessities palette. And the reason I went for this one is because this one is simple. It's very beginner friendly. So what I mean by that is it's not overly confusing. You're not spoiled for choice in 5 to 6 colours for your transition. There isn't like so many colours for your next colour. There isn't so many shades and tones in here of dark browns that you could potentially go and use for your liner. There's obviously just one black. It's just easy. It's just a quick and easy and kept simple neutral eyeshadow palette with obviously your mattes and your metallics. It's just an easy palette. You're not getting confused. You're not getting intimidated with the amount of brown tones and shades in it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope it does. But the first brush I'm going to be taking is the 01 brush from my collection. I'm going to go in to pour another, which is this transitional shade. And I'm basically just placing this shade just right within my crease, just right in here, and I'm going to be packing on and blending at the same time. So as you can see, I'm putting it on and I'm blending just as I go, and I'm going back and forth, still maintaining my blending in circular motions towards the inner corner, right round to the outer corner, back into the inner corner and back out. And it's a wee bit of fluff. I'm basically using the shape of my eye as a bit of a guide. We all have different shapes of eyes, that's okay, but use your eye, use your eyeball as kind of like your guide. I know it sounds really gross and all, but you know, like, use your finger. You can feel your crease, you know, like you can feel your eyeball. Use that as your guide. So I'm going to be winging this out, which is going to be slightly harder if you're a beginner, but I'm basically just going to be boop, boop, but still maintaining their circular motions, because this is a big fluffy brush. It's just going to blend, blur and disperse that product beautifully and evenly throughout the crease. You're obviously going to be packing it within the crease, but with the blending you're going to be applying it to the upper crease and brow bone. See, whenever I come to the inner corner again, I'm going to slightly dust that onto the nose to kind of join it to the nose contour. And see, whenever I am doing my shadow, I'm using very, very light touches. Like, I'm not leaning really hard on my eye. I'm literally just like tickling the shadow to create such a really nice smooth blend. And obviously feel free to build your transitional shade up as much as you want, whether you want it to be a wee bit darker, a wee bit more intense, or you want to kind of pull it back and just have like a light wee dusting of shadow. Obviously it depends on your makeup style, what you're comfortable with, but if you want it a wee bit less, if you don't want it to look as tense as this, if you don't want it to look as intense as this, you could have stopped like a couple minutes ago, okay? I can already see where this is going to go. Jesus. Going in with our next brush, this is a 06 brush. This is also a blending brush within the crease, lid, outer corner, whatever, and it's kind of like a flat packing brush. You can obviously see with the flatness on the side, and then the top is fluffy, so you can pack and then blend. With this, it's really, really good. Because we're going with a slightly smaller brush, I'm going to be going into a slightly darker shade because we're wanting to deepen up the crease. The smaller the brushes go, like this is obviously our first brush with our lightest shade, it's a big brush. Our next brush here, we're going slightly smaller and the shade that we're using is slightly darker. The brush after that we will be using is this wee brush here. So you see a bit of a pattern going. We're obviously going to be going the darker the shade, the smaller the brush, because you want to be more precise with that shadow because it is darker. And into the palette, slightly darker shade, which is this one here that I'm going to use. And again, if you're a beginner, just go in with a wee bit of product first of all and build up your shadow. So basically with this brush, I'm not going to be doing much packing today, so I'm going to be loading the brush up just at the tip, and I'm going to be going in right at that crease. And as you can see, I'm not blending the way I was with the first brush. I'm literally just moving this shadow back and forth, still maintaining it within that crease. So that basically I'm just moving the shadow to the shape that I want it, or to where I want it, let's just say. And I'm not being too precise, like I'm really not. But I'm literally just using like my eyeball as my guide. Like I'm letting this brush just maneuver itself around my eyeball. So now, because I've been sliding this shadow on, there's minimal product left in this brush. It's obviously dirty, yes, but there's minimal product left on it. So now I'm going to go back in with circular motions and start to blend this out a bit. See, if you do struggle with blending, I like to sometimes focus blending on one area first of all. So I'm focusing my blending on this inner area here first of all, before I'm going back and forth over to this area. I want to perfect this inner area first of all. Once I'm somewhat happy with that, I'm going to move over and start to perfect everything else. I'm going to go back into that very first brush that we took, no more product on it, and go over everything for one last blend. This is my 02 brush, and I'm going to go into this dark brown shade here. So as you can see, this brush here, it is very similar to the... You would think I would know the numbers of my own brushes at this point. It's very similar to the 01 brush, but as you can see, this brush here does come into a point. So this is really, really good for precise blending within the crease and lower lash line. And I also love this brush for liner, shadow liner. So I do because of the point. I absolutely love it. And that's one thing that was really important to me as well whenever I was creating these brushes, was the fact that I wanted them to be versatile. They don't just have one use, you know, like this brush here. You can use it in so many different ways, and this brush here so many different ways. Obviously your crease brush is your crease brush, you know what I mean? But you can use it to just blend whatever. I'm just going to pat that on. Quite close to the lash line as possible. You don't want to have any wee gaps or anything. And I also don't like to come the whole way into the inner corner. I kind of like to just come over just where my pupil is, basically. I'm going to start to extend it and kind of do this with it. Kind of go diagonal with it or something. I don't know. Subscribe for more tutorials where I know exactly what I'm talking about. Hopefully it will be self-explanatory, but I'm now going to go up. So as you can see, I'm not going straight out, I'm going up this way. And just use the tiniest wee bit of shadow just at a time, and you'll be fine. And I'm using literally like feather like touches. Touches. They're just like wee kisses on my eyeball. But I'm also just using just that tip, like literally just that tip. I wanted this brush to be firm enough, yes, but still soft and flexible enough where you could go in with just that tip to not only pack on but blend and move the shadow. So just going in with that tip, and that's great. I think my camera cut off there. I'm not too sure. I don't know, but basically what I was saying there was I'm just letting the tip of that brush just do the work for me, basically. So as you can see, we're starting to get somewhere. I can no more product on this brush. I'm going to kind of start blending everything. This might be a wee bit too dark for you. You could just go in with this shade here just to do this wee bit of winged liner. Be creative, do what you want. Use the shimmer shade if you really want to. Use the black if you're ballsy. But now I'm going to go into my 03 brush, which is my flat top eyeliner brush. This is perfect for eyebrows, eyeliner, gel liner, shadow liner, etc. And I'm going to go into, again, just this darkest shade here. I lied. I'm going to take a wee bit of the black as well. And I'm going to press this on just at that lash line. Again, I'm not coming over any further than my pupil. I'm not extending it out. I'm just going right along my lash line. And I'm going to go back into my 02 brush. Hey, we got it first time. I'm not going to take any more product in this. Mum, can you please stop texting me? I'm trying to explain everything I'm doing. She's asking me if I want lasagna for dinner. But as I was saying, I'm going to go back into this brush now, not with any more product. And I'm going to blend that shade that we just applied to the lash line. Now I'm going to go with my 04 brush. This is a nice wee petite blender. Really good for precise blending. Lash line, lower lash line, all that good stuff. So taking this brush, and I'm going to go back in with one of the lighter shades now actually. So probably the transition, maybe. Or do you know what, actually I'm going to take the transition and that shade that we used. And I'm not going to be using a lot. I just want to use enough to kind of diffuse this liner a wee bit. And as you can see, I'm going diagonal, so I'm going in the shape of the wing. But see, if you are a beginner in makeup, your brushes really do make such a difference. Your makeup brushes will do 50%, 75% of the work. honestly, they really do make such a difference. Like, your tools make such a difference to your work, and I'm not just talking about makeup here, I'm talking about any type of job really. You know, like, I'm sure an artist will tell you that he doesn't just get his brushes from Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Eason's. And then whenever it comes to your shadows is a wee bit different, because I feel like we're very lucky these days to have such amazing drugstore brands like Makeup Revolution, Colourpop, Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild shadows are amazing. There is honestly so many fantastic drugstores out there with such really good eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes and all these days, so just shop around, see what you can get. But this, to me personally, is such a fantastic beginner friendly palette, because it has all the shades that you need and want in it really, and we have a mixture of our mattes, metallics, all that good stuff. So yeah. I think I'm now going to go off camera and do this other eye, and then we will come back on camera and I'm actually going to apply my lashes with yous as well. Okay guys, so that is both eyes done. I've just went on ahead and done my lips and applied a wee bit of mascara. I have my wee eyelashes gluing here that I'm going to put on with his, but just in case you're interested or you care about my lip combo, so I'm taking the BFF Colourpop lipstick with the Mel Cosmetics lip paint in Ibiza, and then on top of that I have the Dizzy Colors More Creamer Please lipstick. This is actually a Desi and Katie collab. Oh, just in case you're actually interested, I have a full dedicated video on my channel for or how to put on false lashes, by the way, just in case you're interested. I'll try and find it and link it down below for you, but I definitely have one somewhere. It's years old like, but so basically what I like to do is I like to just literally set them on. Like, they're not even properly glued down yet or solid yet or anything, but I like to just kind of set them on, place them on, and kind of let them mould to my eye a wee bit, and also get slightly more tacky before I go in and manoeuvre them about to where I want them. And like press down maybe the inner corner or the outer corner if it's lifted, or if it's not tight to like the root of the lash or something. And then I'm going to take this wee boil here and just squeeze and squeeze, and there we have it. And I'm just going to use my fingers just to lift the outer corner a bit. So guys, this does come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't really think I have anything else to tell you or talk to you about, other than do feel free to buy my brushes. They are still available, but not for long, because they are a limited edition. Once they're gone, they're gone. And yeah, I will have that linked and listed and all down below in the description box, along with my reveal video, which I will also always have down below in the description box, where I do go in depth to each brush, kind of telling you its purpose. Its purpose in life. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That'll be down below in the description box, along with all my discount codes. Well, whenever I say all my discount codes, I mean one. The one discount code I have, which is a Be Perfect Cosmetics. So obviously you can use my discount code for 20% off site-wide on Be Perfect Cosmetics. It is affiliate though, so thank you so much for the support on that. Happy Friday, and I'll be sure to see you next Monday with a new video.